And we're back. So, UFC 314 just wrapped up. Super good card. We went 11-2 on picks. Basically, essentially swept the card except for Jianan, picked Woodson. What can you do? It's all good. Just overall, though, super amazing card. Everything went to plan. Called a lot of the fights there, like, pretty spot on. So, super happy about that. We're going to talk about some next fights here, break down some of the fights that went down, and yeah, talk about the next fights for these fighters. Starting off, main event, guys, Volk got the belt back. He's a champ again. He beat Diego Lopes. He outbrawled him throughout most of the fight. He did get dropped once, got rocked on a couple of occasions, but for a 36-year-old Volk, he looked really good, in my opinion. He wasn't vintage prime Volk, but still a very good version of Volk. And he's a champion, right? So we had to get some title defenses rolling for him. And the first one, the obvious one, the next one to be is Mofsar. Mofsar's undefeated in the UFC. He's undefeated as a pro. He has wins over Aljo, Arnold Allen, Diego Lopes, who Volk just beat. And it's a good fight. Like, it's going to be Mofsar's wrestling against Volk, which he's fought that style for when fighting Islam. And do it soon. Do it in the summertime. Volk wants to be active. Get his face healed up from the cuts and all that Lopes, damaged his face. Get that damage sorted. And then make this fight in the summer, late summer, maybe July, maybe August. Hell, if Volk is crazy enough, maybe International Fight Week, we can have this one. But I think that's a really good fight. Next fight for the new champ, Alexander Volkanovski. Next, Diego Lopes. Lopes fought good, in my opinion. He went all 5. He was pushing the pace. I think his stock only goes up in this loss. And his next matchup is pretty clear. I mean, he's down here. His next opponent was also on this card. It's Yair, guys. Like, we saw them beef at the press conference. They're one in Mexico in September. Yair's Mexican. Lopes is Brazilian who lives in Mexico. It's not much more clear matchmaking than that. So, the UFC, don't fumble this, please. We want to see if there's beef. It's also an exciting clash of styles between Yair's striking and Lopes' striking. And seeing if Yair can even handle Lopes on the ground, because I don't think he can. But, yeah, make Lopes and Yair. That's just an obvious fight to make for UFC 320 in Guadalajara. Don't do that. Moving on to the co-main. Chandler got his ass beat, guys. He got his ass beat. And he's in a tough spot. But Paddy, great performance. He's in a great spot. Next fight for Paddy. Lightweight is the top of the lightweight division's a mess right now. I mean, you got Islam, who doesn't have a clear contender right now, and he's not really willing to fight Topuria, which would be like a clear contender to fight right now. So, assuming Topuria's not to fight a contender fight, I would assume it's Oliveira. You gotta get some order to this division right now. And now Paddy's a part of that. So I say Paddy's next fight should be against Justin Gaethje. Paddy said he wants some time off. He wants to come back in Abu Dhabi in October. So make the Pimblett and Gaethje fight in October. Gaethje likes to take time between his fights also, so there's nothing like Gaethje has to be active right now. And he doesn't want to fight Poirier. He already fought Max. I'm talking about Gaethje here. And it's a fun matchup with Paddy. I mean, Paddy's been going for the takedown, he's going to try and initiate the grappling. Gaethje's going to try and stuff and take his head off, which a lot of people want to see Paddy get knocked out, which has been a thing throughout his entire career. And then you make those matchups at lightweight. They're trying to make Poirier and Holloway right now. And then that leaves Arman and Hooker to fight each other. And then you make all those matchups here at the UFC, and then you have to order this lightweight division, and you can establish a contender for Moxley to fight. So yeah, I see Pimblett and Gaethje. And overall, it was a great performance for Paddy. I mean, his striking has never looked better. His wrestling looked really, really improved. He was able to get the takedowns on Chandler, albeit a very rocked and busted up Chandler. But overall, great performance by Paddy. As for Chandler, rankings dropped today. He dropped 5 spots down to number 12. Tough. So he's 2-5. Pretty sure in the UFC he's won 5 in his last 6. I mean, a lot of people want to see him go up against a young, hungry contender. And if the UFC does decide to go down that route, I would like to see then book him versus the winner of Benoit Saint-Denis and Joel Alvarez. It's an exciting fight. Chandler probably gets, I mean, maybe he can beat Saint-Denis. Maybe he can beat Alvarez, but we don't know yet. But if they want to go down the young, giving the young guy route, I say give him that. But if they want to give him an opponent with a more recognizable name, I say you make Michael Chandler versus Renato Moicano. Moicano just lost to Islam Makhachev back in January for the lightweight title. It's up on short notice, so he's off a loss. They're looking to make the Dariush fight, but they're probably going to book Dariush versus Mauricio Hufi right now, which is a good fight. So make Chandler versus Moicano. It gives Chandler someone who will talk shit to him at the press conference. It's an exciting clash of styles. Moicano's a really good grappler. Chandler is a power grappler. So, and Moicano, he's susceptible to get hit by a big shot and get knocked out. Which it is winnable for Chandler, although I think it would probably find a way to lose that one somehow. Moving on. I already talked about Yair's featherweight fight. Yeah, we'll go with this first. Yair just shut out Pitbull. Just like I said in the prediction video, Pitbull's way too low output to beat a guy like Yair, and that's exactly what played out. He got shut out 3-0, got dropped in the third. It was a good performance by Yair. It wasn't outstanding, but he did what he had to do. He just threw a lot of kicks and won at range. And just talk about Yair's next matchup should be Diego Lopes in Mexico. Gives Yair a chance to get another win and then push for a title shot if he beats Lopes. And he wants to fucking kick his ass. So, let Yair fight Lopes in Mexico. And as for Pitbull, I got a couple matchups in mind for him, depending on which weight class he wants to go to. If he wants to stick at 145, I say make the fight versus Josh Emmett. Him and Emmett are very similar in the way they fight. They're both older, well output, look for big right hands. So there's a chance for that fight to be boring. But you hope that they just get in there and try and just swing and knock each other out. Put that fight on a fight night in Brazil, and you get Pitbull in his home country, and that can work. If he wants to go up to 155, there's a matchup up there for him. Make Pitbull versus Chandler. I know it's not a big fight for Chandler, and it's just there's a storyline there, right? So if the UFC wants to, keep building off of Chandler's name and Pitbull's name, they can go with a storyline route. Make Pitbull versus Chandler 2, if I'm not mistaken, because he knocked out on Bellator. But if he wants to take 145, I say make the fight versus Josh Emmett. Moving on. Gene Silva, Bryce Mitchell. This was complete domination, in my opinion, by Silva. He was rocking Mitchell on the feet, dropped him on the feet, hit him with a fucking spinning wheel kick. Went for every sub attempt, and every submission attempt was deep in on Mitchell. So, outstanding performance by Silva. Said in the breakdown, man, he's one of those guys who's gonna be at the top of the division. And he's ridiculous, in my opinion. For his next fight, because he was the winner of this fight, I say make Gene Silva versus Brian Ortega. Silva's in the territory now where we got to give him those big fights up the rankings so we can put his title shot. Ortega's just one of the guys who do it. They did it with Diego Lopes back in September on the Sphere card. Do it again here with Silva. And in terms of style matchups, I mean, Ortega doesn't get finished. He's gotten he had an injury against Yair in the first fight, and he got a doctor stoppage against Max Holloway. So he's pretty unfinishable. And Silva, a guy who just wins by finish all the time. It's an interesting match to see if he can beat Ortega by finish. Because if you can knock out Ortega or even submit him, then it's like, whoa, this guy is really he's one of the top guys in this division. So I say Gene Silva versus Brian Ortega. Do it International Fight Week on the main card. Because Silva took no damage against Mitchell. Mitchell doesn't deal damage like that. And Ortega said he wants to get back in there soon. So make Silva Ortega pay-per-view main card. International Fight Week. As for Bryce Mitchell, he is no longer ranked. So I doubt the UFC is going to give him a matchup to get back in the rankings like a Calvin Kattar or a Yusuf Zalal. So it's going to be one of the unranked guys, which is a pretty deep pool at featherweight. I say make Mitchell versus Chepe Mariscal. Two high-paced grapplers. Chepe's now undefeated in the UFC's 5-0. He's so he should be getting a big name, and Mitchell is a big name for him to get. He gives Bryce, he's not fighting, he's a crazy power puncher, so Bryce shouldn't get knocked out in that fight. And it should be an overall entertaining grappling fight. So I say do Cheppy versus Bryce Mitchell, crowded fight night in the US, maybe in Nashville in July, maybe later in the year. But as far as Mitchell's performance, man, he was outmatched from the beginning. He really had no shot in this fight. His stand-up isn't dangerous enough, and he just failed to take down and commit to his grappling. And Silva turns out to be a better grappler than Mitchell is, so, or more dangerous, at least. So not a good performance by Mitchell whatsoever. He's on right now. He's going to work his way back up to the division. Moving on, light heavyweight fights. Nikita Krylov and Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes is not a title running, guys. This is amazing for everyone who's a fan of the sport. If you're not a fan of this Dominic Reyes title run, you're an op. And he's back in the top 10 now. I think he should get the winner. He said he wants one more than a title shot. I'm all for it. I think he should get the winner of Jamal Hill and Khalil Rountree in Azerbaijan. Those two are going to go at it. They're going to go to war. Weird location of their fight to be two black guys from the US and Azerbaijan, but hey, try to do what you gotta do. But Reyes against the winner of that, whether it be Khalil or Jamal Hill, it's a great fight. It's a striking fight. You can make that a main event in the US for 5 rounds. It has title implications because Dominic Reyes will be trying to break into the top 5, and the winner of that will be in the top 5. So whoever wins a matchup between Reyes against the winner of Khalil and Jamal Hill, that's a great fight to make. And overall, man, Reyes looked sharp as ever in that KO win over Krylov. Speaking of Krylov, came back after 2 years off, didn't look great, blitzed on the feet, got chinned. First time ever. He's going to have to fight down. I mean, he's still dangerous, of course, but he's going to have to fight down the rankings now. The guy I have in mind for him is Bogdan Guskov. Bogdan Guskov was supposed to fight Johnny Walker back in 311 in January. Got a switch of opponent, subbed him out. Both those guys, Krylov and Guskov, super high finishing potential. So that fight is, I mean, pretty locks to be a finish, if you ask me, which is entertaining for all of us. Make it in Europe, whether that be Paris or if we go back to the UK later this summer, or if they actually trying to go into more Eastern Europe, or mainland Europe, Central Europe. Krylov and Guskov would be a great fight to make. So, but more on this fight, man. Reyes is back, bro, which is fucking awesome for all of us to see. Just gonna cover the last 2 fights here. Ige and Woodson and Zhao and Verna, because, sorry guys, I can't be bothered to give you my next fights on Mikhail Sejchuk or Julian Rosa. I would say my standouts for prelims, Chulio looked incredible. That guy's next up at middleweight. Sumo Derji and Raposo was a very dull fight. Like I said, Darren Elkins should retire, and Strigas Dumas should be cut. Those are my thoughts on my early prelims. Dan Ige and Sean Woodson. Dan Ige knocked out Sean Woodson, and he kind of put away this creature, which is a good thing for all of us to watch. Not to see Woodson going title around here. And Ige just wins against unranked featherweights. So give him another unranked featherweight. I think give him Hyder Emil in the Apex. That is the most Apex fight you can make. And they would go in there and trade big bombs, which would be really entertaining to watch. Maybe Ige gets knocked out. Maybe Dan Ige gets knocked out for the first time. We don't know. Because Emil can go in there and brawl. He really can. So I say make Dan Ige, Hyder Emil, Apex, late summer, probably, because both those guys have fought fairly recent. As for Sean Woodson, you can't beat Dan Ige when he's fighting in unranked featherweight. So it's unfortunate. Early stoppage, yes, but I just don't think he's going to win that fight, to be honest with you. I say give him Melky Costa as Woodson's next fight. He just fought in Mexico not too long ago, and he had a great performance against Christian Rodriguez. And he's in a fight with Woodson, he would push the pace and look to finish him. I really tried to test his grappling, which I know people have tested Woodson's grappling before, but Costa is a dangerous finisher, man. So I think we would get an exciting fight out of Woodson and Melky Costa next, which put it on make it in the Sauron fight, Nick, because again, Woodson didn't take that much damage in this last fight.